Today on Galileo Talks, we're joined by a Montreal-based entrepreneur who turned his passion for sports into a growing media brand. From his roots as an athlete to now helping teams and fitness brands tell their stories through content, this guest is all about discipline, creativity, and building something from the ground up. Let's get into the mindset behind the journey. Please welcome Matteo Marino. So take us back. What was your educational journey like at the beginning?
So, from as much as I remember growing up, all the way from elementary to high school, I was the very nonchalant, passive when it comes to school and education. Didn't care for it. Really, just I don't care for it. You know what I mean? Like whether I was making a mess in class, wasn't showing up to class.
Kind of like a
Just
troublemaker or just,
troublemaker, but like we're still respectful to the teachers.
okay, at least.
So you know what I mean? Like I wasn't
Yeah.
making too much of a bordello. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah. And then you
Um,
ended up in adult ed.
I ended up now at education. So essentially, the story is elementary. No, just making a mess. I was severe ADHD. So just wasn't listening, sleeping in class. Either I was sleeping or super energetic.
Okay.
Well, there was no in between. So there was that. Then high school, that got just as worse. I ended up getting, say, involved with few things, substances, all that stuff. So that didn't help. I didn't really show up to classes, or if I did show up to class, I would show up like, let's say, under the influence, or I just didn't show up to class. Exams as well. Like it was really just
Would you say that began like you started
already
to
13
spiral?
years old.
13 years old.
13 years old, I started. So again, didn't care for school, didn't show up to classes. If I did, I was sleeping. Just really not caring. And then from there, so I failed 2 times. I failed 2 grades, and then by the second time I failed, then I was in high school. They call it summer school. I
Yeah.
went to summer school a few times. By secondary five, I was with my best friend's younger brother, who was 2 years younger than me. So at that point, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm done. So I ended up dropping out, didn't do the last exams, and I ended up going to work. And by that time, I was 18 years old, still in high school. I said, yeah, it's not happening. So I went to work at Cafe Milano's, and then such I had like a life changing moment at Cafe Milano's when a family friend of mine, his name is Max, and he's a barista at Cafe Milano's. And at that point, like I started getting into personal training and all that stuff. And I was reading a book before my shift. I was like right there in front of the cash, and I was just sitting down reading. And he knew me, and that I play football. And from there he just came up to me, kind of gave me a little tap on the head, said, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing here?" You know? I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, like, "Go play football." Because at that point I had played football in high school, but because of my grades and all that stuff, I wasn't eligible to go play at college or at the next level. And yeah, and then from there, it was just I had made a decision that day. I called my mom. I said, "Listen, you know what? I'm gonna retry school, but not for the sake of school, but for the sake to go play football again, because that was my dream." And so that's exactly what I did. So that was like in April or May, and then the semester after, I had came and did what I had to do.
Was it what you expected out of adult ed?
More or less, I would say so. However, one thing I didn't expect was such a caring team. So what I mean by that is I had Miss Vaccaro, right? And so she was a math teacher, which was the subject I had the hardest time with. And I always thought growing up that I sucked in math. I was horrible, this, and that. But it was just something I was telling myself as a way to like get myself out of actually doing it.
Exactly.
So I had her really helping me out with the math, and I had Randy, and I think Randy passed away. So he was a counselor here, and he was really helping me out with the application, and then like teaching me, what I have to do and what marks I have to get to really get to Vanier. So Vanier was the school that I ended up going to. Um, so I didn't expect that I'd have such a
A good
good support
supporting,
system,
yeah.
yeah, support system around me, but that was something that I really was like, wow, like there are teachers that, really care. And not to say that there aren't teachers that care, that didn't care for me in high school, just like,
You were ready and you were receptive,
exactly,
and it was a good combination.
exactly.
So after adult ed, where did you end up?
So after adult education, that was, I think it was like 2018, 2019, I went to go play at Vanier. So I went to Vanier College for a semester. I ended up playing football, and then I only did one semester, right? So I only did one semester. I played the last year of eligibility that I had at Vanier. So I was like
Why only one
20.
semester?
So at that point, I was 20 or 21 years old.
Okay.
So like I don't think you could play college at 21, 22, 23 years old. So I went there, I did my one season, I did what I had to do.
Do you feel
And
accomplished with that one season? Like you
I wish
made it?
I'd had that last little bit. I wish I could have developed more throughout that system. But obviously the choices I made in my life in high school really, limited me in terms of what I could do. However, I went there, I did what I had to do, and I put my heart into it, and I'd say it worked out pretty well.
Do you regret what happened in high school?
No,
Why not?
no, it's part of my story. It's part of what led me here. I don't think that if I went through all the troubles I put myself through, and it's a lot of it's my fault at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like a lot of it is me. But looking back, like I was lost, didn't really have direction, didn't have much of a purpose in mind, didn't really think too much about other things. And but I mean, here I am now sitting with you and running my own company and all that stuff. And if you would have told me I had to go through that 1,000 times again to be where I'm at now, so be it. I'll do it 2,000 times.
Matteo, what did you do after Vanier?
So after Vanier was famous COVID, right? So that had shut down a lot. So at that point, after Vanier, I was in talks with a few universities to get to to play at the university level. But obviously, with everything that went on, a lot of programs had shut down for that year. So essentially, what I did was for that year, I worked and trained a lot, just kept myself mentally and physically ready as possible. And then from there, I ended up moving to British Columbia, and that's another story, I guess
What
we'll
was
get
that
into.
like?
It was beautiful, and so we had that one year that all sports programs were off, right? So like we couldn't do anything. I remember the second year of COVID, essentially was I think things were starting to become a bit more open,
Yep.
right? Obviously, those restrictions,
But
but
limited, yeah.
limited, right? I was supposed to go play at Greenfield Park with one of my favorite coaches, shout out Coach Donald. So Coach Donald had reached out to me, and he was one of the best coaches I ever had, and him too. Like he really changed my life and changed how I viewed football and how I viewed sports. Sports was like my physicality, and sports was something that I really took seriously. That's what I prided myself on. Like I was an athlete, right? Uh, and that came with me being very hungry, but that also came with me being very hard on myself and sometimes losing the fun and the passion of the sport. Does that make sense? And I remember just one practice, like I wasn't doing as well, and I was getting very frustrated. And he took me for like 20 minutes. He's like, "Come on, me."
What did he tell you?
It's like you're good. Like you are good. He's like, but you're taking it like a bit too seriously right now, and like you gotta like remember why you're doing this. Like you started off for fun, like have fun out there. Like don't be so caught up in the mistakes, and like even if you're making mistakes, you learn from those mistakes. And so like after like 20 minutes of just talking to him like on the sideline while the other coaches were taking care of the practice, I had run back and did my thing essentially. So I was like, okay, like that was really it changed my perspective, and it was good. And then yeah, so that was that. And then I think like a month or two later, I think that program had shut down. Not shut down completely permanently, but I think the league hadn't accepted the opening of that season.
Okay.
So now we're back to square one.
Again.
back to square one again. So now we're not playing football, right? And so at this point, I'm frustrated with just like I just want to play football, like. And so at this point, I'm frustrated with just like I just want to play football, like. Uh, I went to my high school. I went back to college. I did what I had to do, and like all to play football, like nothing else, just play football. And I like it was kind of being stripped away every opportunity that came up. So okay. Then one day, so I was working at Chicharo's. Shout out to Chicharo's. I get a message from a coach through a platform that I was signed up to. And at first, I thought it was like a fake message, so I didn't even answer. Like I saw it, but I'm like, oh, it looks like a bot or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think like a day after, again at my other shift, I get a Facebook message or a Facebook request from a Coach Maddox. Shout out Coach Maddox. So Coach Maddox had reached out to me, and he's like, "Hey Matteo, I saw you play for Vanier like 2 years ago, but I also see that you're not committed to any schools. Like, are you currently looking to play, or do you have a team in mind that you're looking to, or play with?" And I was like, "I don't have anything right now. Like at the moment, there is nothing. There's no signal of me playing at the moment." He said, "Listen, he's like one of our linebackers here in British Columbia had just gotten injured throughout the summer camp, and he's like, we really like what we saw on tape, and we'd like to have you out and play here." So it's a Wednesday, right? And like I'm living with my mom and Italian mom as well.
Yeah.
Their son leaves and all that stuff. So essentially, so this is a Wednesday, sometime in mid-August. So season starts like the first week of September.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So like a lot of the guys that had been on the team had already started training like June, July. So I was like a late recruit, like super late, So I had like two weeks to like learn the playbook at this point. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, how am I? First of all, I'm an Italian Sicilian mom, So
I want
at
to
the
know
point,
what that conversation was like when you told her.
so I'm at my grandfather's house at that point, and I'm in the backyard. I'm talking to Coach Maddox, and he's just breaking down everything for me, like how it's gonna work, what I'm gonna be, da, da, da. And at first, I didn't even know it was in British Columbia. Like he just said, like, we have an opportunity for you. I'm like, cool. Let's send you a text. But then we call each other, and he's like, hey, by the way, he's like, are you familiar with BC? And I was like, BC. I'm like, where are you guys located?
Like the province across the country?
Yeah,
Oh
But
boy.
then I was like, okay, I thought this was like a team in like Quebec or something, like.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, like we're in British Columbia, like we're in Kelowna. And I was like, oh, this is gonna get tough talk for my mom, like. But for me, I was all for it.
Okay, I was gonna say, did you already decide in your mind this is what you wanted to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
At that point, I was already like, I had to play it off my mom, like, nah, I don't know. But then I was like, nah, we're going.
What was that conversation like with mom?
So Italian moms being skeptical as usual. Like, they always want to know
Yeah.
every single detail of every
sure.
little thing, this and that. So I'm in my nonno's backyard. I put the phone down after having this conversation, and I was like, so I go see my mom. I'm like, so this is a Wednesday, right? And they wanted me to come like the Tuesday after,
Oh boy, less than a week.
less than a week. So I go tell my mom, like, I think I'm going to Vancouver, like I'm going to British Columbia. She's like, what?
For what?
Yeah, for what exactly? So I'm like, well, I just spoke to a coach. I've been talking the last like day or two, and like they want me to go play. At first, she's like, no, what are you talking about? Like she was very skeptical.
Very, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
very for sure. It's like one day nothing, I'm playing football this year to you're being shipped off to the other side of the country,
Yeah.
At that point, it was like the first time, I guess, like leaving my family behind type of thing, especially for that long. So from August to I came back in December.
What was it like bringing you to the airport? Did mom cry?
Actually, I think it was my dad that had brought me, but at that point, so I had said bye to my mom. It was a very surreal moment because I was like,
This was kind of like a dream for you, no?
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So it wasn't pro, but like
Right.
it was the I guess you can consider it like the league right under the pro. You know, like where a lot of the CFL teams would pick up guys from a different avenue instead of playing university ball, for example.
This is minor league?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm saying bye, and I'm like, it was tough. There was definitely a few tears for sure, a lot of emotion. My dad had came to pick me up at my mom's, and he drove me to the airport. Gave each other a nice big hug, and I was just like we're doing this,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean that was that. Then it was as soon as I saw my dad's car leave, it was just like
It hit you.
like there might be times where throughout this trip where it's gonna be hard, but like you're on a mission.
Yeah.
You're on a mission, and regardless of whatever you might be feeling about leaving and being there like 6 hours by flight, not by car, like just keep your head on straight, do what you gotta do, and yeah, play the game.
So you came back at Christmas? Did you
Yeah.
go back after?
No, I genuinely. So when I got there, I got a job at Valoroso Foods, and so it was actually a bunch of Italians there too. So I really felt connected like immediately. I was like, oh, okay, like this is nice.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting or making a second family out of the employees and the bosses that were there. Shout out Danilo. So so there was Danilo who had hired me, because I remember one day like I got to my apartment where the coach allowed me to live. I was going to a grocery store, and I'd seen Valoroso Foods and just sounded Italian. And it had the Italian flag right there. So I was like, let me see if I can get a job. So I went to go speak to the guy, and immediately just gave me from his accent, he was Roman. So I spoke to him in Italian, and he was just like, his face lit up.
Super excited.
He was super
happy.
excited. I
Yeah.
was like, listen, I'm here for a few months. Like, you guys need workers. And so I ended up working there, and I loved Kelowna. Like, not even just to play football, but I loved the city, the community. Like, it's a small city, but like everybody rides with the football team or any of the sports teams there. Um, but like with them, like I really had a family relationship with him and his wife and a few of the other employees, to the point where even after the football season had finished, I only left like 2 or 3 weeks after. My mom was texting me, okay, like, when are you coming home? And I was like, I back. And at that point, we're approaching the holidays, right?
Okay.
And obviously for Italians, like the Christmas and New Year is a very big thing. And I was like, well, I think I might stay for Christmas, like stay here. Like I'm gonna spend it with them. At that point, they had actually offered me to stay with them because we had that father-son relationship with him, and initially I said yes. And then, start getting the calls from mom, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come back home.